starting off top 10. We have at number 1, Kansas City Chiefs. Bills at 2, Lions 3, Vikings 4, Eagles 5, Ravens 6, Commanders 7, all the way up to 7. Ooh. Packers 8, Rams 9, and the Bucks round out your top 10. On the flip side of things, the bottom 5, Jets at 28, Browns at 29, Titans at 30, Giants at 31, and then the New England Patriots, your number 1 overall pick, all the way down to number 32. So who's too high? Who's too low? Who's just right?
Jeez Louise. Well, after watching that Seattle Seahawks team play this past week on a short week against the Chicago Bears, I'm going to say too high for the Seattle Seahawks.
They are at number 16 now.
It's been disappointing to watch this group who kind of swelled up a little bit towards the middle of the season in a good way, and they've really shrunk over the last few weeks, last month and a half of football. Mike McDonald's defense was great. We saw the emergence of a true number 1 in Jackson Smith and Jigba, and then we watched this group take an absolute shit against the Chicago Bears in a win, 6-3. I mean, it should be criminal to make those Thursday night football games at 8:00. Amazon, I am going to sue you because I was up too late and I didn't get enough bang for my buck, as it were. You know, I've been reading a lot of these articles about how sleep impacts happiness, how sleep impacts.
You're really taking on the New Year's resolutions here.
Yeah,
And
for
what did
sure.
it say?
It says I should sue Amazon.
You should have gone to bed.
The Chicago Bears hosting the Seattle Seahawks at 8 p.m. on a school night.
So McCaskey family.
Sleep is good for happiness?
Sleep is good for happiness.
Well, that's why, I guess that's my problem because I don't sleep.
You're a nasty man. But seriously, Seattle, I had high hopes for you. Geno Smith, it's been awesome to watch you come back into the role as a starter, carry this offense, be the unquestioned leader in Seattle. But the Seattle Seahawks should be higher than this. The fact that they're this high, they're too high because they've been so bad. You should have dominated the Chicago Bears. Leave no question. Too high, Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, they fall in that level of teams where you just won't be consistent when you have that caliber of offensive line. It's impossible to in the NFL. When you have an offensive line that at a moment's notice can turn to tissue paper, you just won't move the football consistently.
You know what Schneider said about the offensive line? This is great. Okay. So I work with Brock Vereen, who is a really, really bright young guy. He's got that Nate Burleson skill set. You can put him in any job and he can do it. He can host a show. He can be an analyst. He can call games. We're in studio and we're talking about the Seattle Seahawks. And he said, I was looking through some quotes of John Schneider, and he said this about offensive linemen, particularly guards. He said they are overpaid and overvalued, overpaid, overblown. And me being an offensive guard, I wanted to choke Schneider via Brock in the moment. And I'm like, with a thought process like that, you deserve this shit pile that you have as an offensive line.
That's if you talk to your dad and talk to others, look, that used to be the conventional thinking on guards is they were guards. And
tell that to Joe Tooney, who has saved the season for the Kansas City Chiefs.
The value is there.
Tell that to Marshall Yanda, who will walk into Canton as the first ballot Hall of Famer who filled in as an offensive tackle. Tell that to any number of offensive guards who have stepped out there at the tackle position and just gotten brolic out there.
Well, it's not as bad as Tom Cable, their former O-line coach. He was quoted as saying...
Who literally choked a guy on the sideline.
Yeah. He was quoted as saying pass protection's on the quarterback. He didn't care about pass pro for his offensive line. That was the quarterback's responsibility. The Seahawks have been, that's why they've, when you have a GM with an attitude like that and an offensive line coach with an attitude like that, it's no surprise
deserve it.
What do you do with Geno?
They're a tough spot because he's probably, he's not a top 10 quarterback in the NFL, right? If you're just ranking him, but he's not a bottom half of the quarterback in the NFL. He's an above average quarterback.
Right.
And you're probably paying him the level of where you would want to pay a guy like that. That's that's good value. The way he's playing,
you keep him, but you just for future.
You just need a better.
You need future.
You just Sam Howell was not it. Obviously, when they came on the football field, I don't think he's going to be the guy.
He holds the ball longer than anybody.
Yeah,
he makes Caleb Williams look like he has quick release.
Stop.
So
you're nasty.
Nasty.
You're being nasty.
I am nasty.
I think they are just they need to draft better, especially specifically along the offensive line is where they're at right now. Because they're close, but just
would you look at that?
But he had, I mean, this roster was built by drafting better of late. So Schneider's kind of close to one of those heaters he goes on every once in a while.
I'm always drafting big guys on both sides. Bigger.
He likes them big.
I mean, they're tough. You want to be tough. Look at the teams that are good. They're all tough and nasty.
Yeah.
I was listening to that tackle from LSU talk this morning. God, I love him.
He might be a guard.
I don't care. I put him somewhere in that front five. Love that guy.
You think he's a guard or a tackle?
I think he play tackle.
Yeah, but I think he could be all-world guard, though.
Yeah, he could be. All right, my team that's ranked too high. I'm going to go with another NFC West team, the Rams, just because of what we talked about. They're the worst offense in the NFC right now, in the NFC playoff picture. It's odd to say. We thought it was going to turn around. I mean, first game with everyone back, they beat the Vikings, and we're like, okay, this team, it's back. They've averaged 22.8 points per game with that everyone being back roster. And the last 3 games, they haven't even scored 20 points. I don't know. I mean, the defense has surpassed expectations, but the offense has not met them. And to your point, they don't have the speed. It's difficult when you don't have true vertical threats. I mean, you can throw Tutu Atwell out there all you want. He's just, people know what he is. It's a one-trick pony. Their main core, to everyone, the running back, to the wide receivers, they are just slow. And today's NFL, there's only so much you can do when you are that athletically limited.
And we'll throw out the 49ers game because of the weather. Remember, that was raining for it. But they just, if you watch them, it's nobody scared of anybody going by you.
Yeah.
And when you can play defense, not being scared of anybody going by you, it really limits what you can do. And I think that's going to show up.
And Cooper Kupp's like, he's mid-30s. You know, like he looks.
He'll be an OC in 2 years. And then he'll be a head coach by 40.
You think he's done?
Not done,
but it ain't Cooper Kupp.
It's like Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen wasn't done when he went to Carolina, but he wasn't Adam Thielen.
Right.
You know. All right. Who's ranked just right for you?
Just right for me. And I've talked about this team a lot this year. I've said they were too low, and I've said they were just right on numerous occasions. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This team is peaking at the right time, and they are getting healthy relative to where they were at the right time. And Baker Mayfield is playing incredibly well. Liam Cohen is in that conversation of smartest football minds, offensive football minds in the NFL. And I think that this is a team that nobody wants to play. People are talking about the Cincinnati Bengals being the guy you don't want to show up to the party because he'll steal your girl. Watch out for Baker Mayfield and this Tampa Bay Bucs team, because they're going to get a win this week. They're going to be into the playoffs, and they're going to beat somebody in the playoffs, at least one person. So I think just right. I think they're at 10. That's just right. And that's where they want to be. They want to be a little bit doubted, but involved in the party. And
they need to get Winfield back. You know, they've had problems in coverage at times back there. Now Dean's banged up a little bit now too, just getting guys back. I'm with you. I love this team. I loved them before the season. I thought they would win the division, and they are dangerous the way they're playing. McMillan, by the way, the best Washington rookie wide receiver.
Oh, yeah. Now, Rome's still been better, in my opinion, but McMillan's very good.
He hadn't played all year, though.
He looks very good.
McMillan had played all year.
McMillan makes plays.
Yeah, he does. McMillan's good.
Rome's open a lot. McMillan makes plays.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
All right, my team that's ranked just right, and I agree with Tampa Bay Bucks. It's New England Patriots at 32.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot, just week in, week out, going and watching Drake May tape, I cannot understate how bad this offense is from a talent perspective. This roster would not be able to translate a single starter onto numerous teams across the NFL. Like if you just gave all New England's offense talent to another team, there would not be a single player.
I think Pop Douglas would be a good slot receiver on a lot of teams.
That would play for a lot of teams.
Yeah, I do. He's
probably he might be, but even that's like your third wide receiver.
The guard would be
Onwenu.
He would play on a lot.
Their tight end would play in Chicago.
No, but that's two. But your point is,
but like they would not start over the Eagles guards right now or the Eagles receivers. So they were not like, if you put them on the Eagles, none of the guys end up starters. It's like there's just not a lot of talent here, and even the guys who are, like you said, the best talents are fringe.
Eagles' third receiver isn't great.
Well, they used 3 wide receivers.
Yeah,
but he wouldn't start over Devontae and AJ.
No.
So it's not good. And it's hard to, again, understate how not good it is. They need an entire new roster
and
on the offensive side of the football. And defense has some talent, but it's poorly coached week in and week out, in my opinion. So that's where they're at. They are, in my opinion,
I don't think they're making a change.
Has he learned how to do the coaching thing throughout the course of the season, or has it been the same? More of the same, more of the same. In addition to not being able to lead that group, the way that he talks, the promises he makes, Ramondre Stevenson's not going to start. He starts. We're soft. We're this. We're that. We've won. We used to win Super Bowls with, this train of, it ain't the same team.
Yeah.
No.
It's not this. It's not your mom and dad's New England Patriots. So
they look like they quit in that game too, which is not a good look.
That's if I'm a Patriots fan, do not want to run it back. They might run it back. I do not want to run it back.
Drake May's awesome.
Not liked what I've seen.
They'll run it back.
All right. That's our Goldilocks segment, brought to you by Travis Matthew. Apparel designed for confidence and comfort, no matter where the day takes you. And I do love this cloud.
Dude, you look great too.
I look like someone asked me if I was
Carolina Tar Heels basketball team.
You look like you're going golfing.
I do. This is the full golf fit.
Yeah.
See, I was looking at it and thinking you could coach college basketball. You'd be on the sideline with that thing looking comfortable, no sweat stains. A lot of these coaches, they're out there looking sweaty and disgusting. You know what I'm talking about.
Who was the one Arizona coach? Sean
Miller.
Just, oh my gosh.
Sweaty Betty.
He is soaked.
Those are unbelievable.
Bobby Hurley too at ASU. He's soaked all the time.
Soaked.